Eh. Oh, I think we're done. I think we're done leveling. For now. I mean, I could level more. Okay, let's do this. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna roll some dice. If the dice rolls go badly, we have other things we can do. Good morning, Dakota. Yeah, we did. Well, she decided that we should play the Switch version, and so here we are. Probably for the best. Because I would have to have ground? Literally double the amount that I have currently grinded if we had gone with the original version. But really, the reason is Dragon Quest II, as I talked about yesterday. I just realized I screwed this up. Hang on. Because Dragon Quest II is actually an unfinished game, except in the re-release. So, 1, no real issues. 3, no real issues. 2? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the blurring, or not blurring, the smoothing, whatever they call that, on the sprites. And I really don't care for the main character sprite, which is just whatever, but I can live with that for the sake of the game, you know. Not already having many negatives that it would have if this was the original NES version. In fact, other than the grind wall we ran into last night, this has actually been pretty legit. Go figure. Hello, Akira. Hello, Tuxedo Brian. Okay, so let's heal up. Alright. No! Well, okay, I'll take the crit. Okay, yeah. So that was a boss, believe it or not. But we just got a very lucky crit on. And there's the best armor in the game. Now, we actually find out about that after we go to the town we're about to go to. Hello, Michael Bania. But, you know what, I'll take it now. So now we're immune to poison, among other things. So that will be funny, Tuxedo Brian. Thank you very much for the sub, as always. The reason I say that's funny is Pokemon Crystal's already on the list, so we'll see which gets funded first, Soul Silver or Crystal. Funny is one of them is longer than the other, so it'll take more funding. Alright, so now we're going to save, first and foremost. Because now we're going on a trip. That is going to be a bit of a walk. This is the longest overworld trek in the game. But with the armor, we should do okay-ish. I mean, they're only hitting us for, looks like about a fifth our health every swing. Which is much better than we were doing. And we got plenty of mana to heal up with. And we heal every step. Yeah, tell Captain America I'm busy. I got stuff to do. Oh yeah, this armor heals every step like the other one does, but it heals more every step. Basic Dakota. So there was Pokemon Silver, Pokemon Gold, and then Pokemon Crystal. I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day, almost every generation up to and including Gen 4 had a third version. You know, it was Pokemon Yellow for Gen 1, Pokemon Crystal for Gen 2, Emerald for Gen 3, and Platinum for Gen 4. So Crystal was the third game for Gen 2. You've been able to add games to the list for, I'd say about 8 or 9 months, Michaelvania. Yeah, no, it's basic. I'm not sure I could qualify this as negative in terms of gameplay design for combat, because it goes by very quickly, and it is relatively smooth, but it is very basic. The total You know, we talk about kit, right? The total kit in this game is a grand total of 12 spells, 6 of which can be cast in combat. Attack, item, flee. And when I say item, the only items available to you are healing item, yes, singular, or, like, case-specific stuff, like we are about to use. I've never even heard of that, Michaelvania. What is it? I mean, I could pause the stream and go look it up, but... I guess I've never heard of that. Grab a heal. Oh, we're capped. Right. Yeah, this is the other advantage of a semi-rare PS1 game. No. I'm just gonna go ahead and say no right now. Hello, Eclectic, and hello, French Philosopher. Alright, let's grab another save. Well, actually, we don't have to do it right yet. Okay, now we have to save. So there's only 3 bosses that I'm aware of in this game. We just beat one of them. Here's the second one. Now, this guy will absolutely Shrek you. Unless you did the little side quest and got the flute. They do say that in-game. All this info is actually in-game. As I said yesterday, I'm pretty sure one of the reasons this game took off the way it did in Japan is because it was surprisingly user-friendly, especially for the time. Oh, he's already awake. Okay, back to sleep. He's awake. I mean, you can fight this guy without doing this, but I wouldn't recommend it, especially not at level 15. We'll probably ding just from fighting this guy. Damn it. So it's RNG on how many turns sleep lasts. And that can be 1. Effectively, they wake up the turn that you sleep them. We're actually having pretty bad RNG here. Oh my god, we're having terrible RNG. Every time this happens, this is like a... I think it's a 1 in 6 chance. So, however that multiplies statistics-wise. You know, 1 in 6 on top of a 1 in 6 on top of 1 in 6. Jesus! There we go. Okay. Yeah, like I said, we're gonna level up that guy. Kinda by design. Okay, save, now that he's dead. Oh, what's our gold at? Okay, we have enough. We could buy the second best sword in the game, but there's really no reason to. What we really want is the best shield in the game, which we'll get to in a second. But first, let's sell off this worthless armor. Hey, you. Whoops, no, sell. The magic armor. I'll take that. The impenetrable forces of Cantlin doth bid thee welcome. The legends do tell that the armor of mighty Erdrick was passed down from hand to hand. That's the armor we're wearing. Down through a dynasty of men until it came into the hands of one who bore the name of Magog. Insert Andromeda joke. The claws of the Dragon Lord rendeth steel as it were parchment, while his breath melteth stone as it were ice. Knowing this, Erdrick, thou art still resolved to face him? Verily, thou art a hero indeed. that's the bank. I don't actually want that. Welcome, friend, welcome. If thou likest carrots, thou hast most certainly come to the right place. Ah, thy stony demeanor bespeaketh not a pressing need for carrots. The item shop is o'er yonder, friend. Welcome to the item shop. I believe that is the very first bit of humor in the Dragon Quest series right there. What to prepare, I wonder. How about carrots? I mean, I like carrots. Now, what do you sell? Nothing I want. We already... No, we didn't. Long ago, when darkness did threaten the land, a great hero did descend from beyond the heavens. That's the second hint of that. And lo, the hero's name was called Erdrick. Thinkest thou that Erdrick was a savior sent unto us by the great and benevolent goddess? No. Now, so, spoilers, we play as the original Erdrick in Dragon Quest III. Sorry, spoilers. But the reason I wanted to mention that is because, near as I could tell, I did a little more additional research on that. Near as I could tell, what actually ended up happening was they wrote it such that the dialogue in the first game, in the original first game, you know, not the remake that we're playing right now, was he descended from on high, was the intention. Like, he was a hero sent by the goddess, right? But they were reading that when they were making Dragon Quest III, and they're like, you know, we can make that literal. And thus, they kind of pseudo-retconned that. And, yeah. I don't know. I always love seeing how people do backloaded storytelling. Yes, let's buy some keys. Over here. What do you got? The Silver Shield. 10 more defense. For perspective, that's over a 10% increase in overall defensive capability right now. But it's also the most expensive item in the game. That's why I was making sure we had the right gold before we walked in here. Ironically, having bought that, we now don't really have any need for gold for the rest of the game. We're done with the shops. Here lie those who doth fall into the hand of the fiends that do plague the land. Perhaps thou wouldst offer up a prayer to their memories, that they might rest in peace. She sells the holy water. And he sells a bunch of stuff we don't want or need. Now, we could talk to this guy. We're not going to. We're going to talk to this guy. My family did once tend a shop in the desert town of Damdara. Alas, in the time of my grandfather, Magog, monsters did lay waste to that ill-fated place. Those few who escaped with their lives fled hither unto Cantlin. For a mercy, my family brought with them sufficient money to establish themselves here, and thus did we begin again. Huh? Thou wouldst know the whereabouts of my family's premises in Damdara? If memory serve, they were based in the east of town, aka where we got the armor. That's your hint as to where the armor is. Because you're actually supposed to come here before you get the armor. If thou wanderest in search of a mark or seal, thou wouldst do well to visit the old man in the house of worship that stands directly south of us. Yeah, sure, I can do that. I got the healing spells for that. This should be fun. Whoops, I just wasted a key. It's okay, we've got more money than we need right now, so, you know, it's whatever. We're gonna save first, though. Oh, right, we have Erdrick's armor, so it doesn't do anything to us now. Ah, I forgot about that. We do most fervently pray for thy success, hero. May the holy light protect and guide thee. Now set thee forth and make haste unto the foretold place. What place? Well, the very spot from which fair tentacled council standeth, a mere 70 paces north and 40 paces west. So those are chords. Although we'll talk about that when we get there. Okay, so we got the shield, we got the hint. We got the level. We got the Baron. Now, if you're paying attention, that's it. That's the whole world map. The only place we haven't gone is the final dungeon. But we still have a few places to hit in order to actually progress. Because if you notice, we don't have any of the plot items yet. So, let's go ahead and warp back. This game is actually really not script-driven, at least for the time. In basically every case, you can go ahead of the hints and ahead of the scripts if you know what you're doing and where you're going. There's a reason this game is like a 20-minute game if you know what you're doing. So if I go straight here, hey! Like, and you don't have to get the flute, you don't have to fight the golem, you don't have to fight the knight, although you probably should. You don't have to rescue the princess, we'll be doing that, don't worry. Oh, I should have... Well, let's go... yeah, let's do that next. Because it's kind of in the way. Well... Let's do this first, actually. Change my mind. Because I didn't get this last time I was here, and I probably should. Refill on our magic keys while we're at it. I mean, Virgil would probably crush Geralt like a bug. Virgil is supremely superhuman. And a good fighter even for a superhuman. Thou art Erdrick, art thou not? Praise be. Ever have I known that one descendant of the mighty Erdrick would one day visit me here. This stout chest doth house the holy Sunstone, entrusted unto my care by thy most heroic ancestor. It is needed in thy quest to slay the Dragon Lord, is it not? Then take it. Claim thy birthright. Thou wilt bring light into our realm once more, of that I have no doubt. But long now have I kept my vigil here, and I grow tired. Soon must I take my rest, at last. What would Geralt do in 40k? Die. Even now I do well recall the face of mighty Erdrick, who did entrust the Sunstone unto me. Thou art the very spit of thy storied forebear. I beg of thee, brave Erdrick, bring peace into our realm once more. Don't worry, we will. We're actually pretty much on the Act 3 run right now, Nithrius. I did the grinding off camera, gave the game the negative for it, and now we're kind of wrapping up. A little bit. I may have to look up one thing, because I'm not sure what to do after the next 3 steps we're about to do, but we'll figure it out. Yeah, I suppose whenever someone says, how would such and such do in 40k? Because it's always 40k. I'm always assuming the worst case scenario. Maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, let's do that first. That's where I was grinding, Nithrius. It really was over an hour, too. I was chatting with Pax while I was doing it. Hang on. Let's get a little bit of invisibility here. I'm trying to remember where I am. There we are. Nope, I'm in the right place. Boop. Alright, Dragon Dude. Let's save just in case. Here's the third of 4 bosses in this game. Now, if you remember, we failed on this guy hard yesterday. That's because there was a gimmick to him back in the NES version. You were supposed to be able to sleep him and then kill him. And he was specifically designed to be weak to sleep. Unfortunately, that was taken out in this version, so we're going to have to reinforce this a little bit. Good news is, in addition to all the other things that this armor does for us, it drastically reduces the damage we take from any magical damage. Fire, sizzle, breath, etc. It's one of the reasons why the armor is arguably mandatory, because it reduces the damage that the Dragon Lord does to you substantially. So. I already explained this scene. So, let's see what it's like in this version. At long last, one has come who will deliver me from my plight. Brave hero, I am Gwaelin, Princess of Tantegel. Hadst thou tarried a moment longer, the Dragon Lord would have surely made me his bride. Merely to imagine such an unspeakable fate striketh dread into my dainty heart. Shudder. Mighty Erdrick, wilt thou of course escort me to my home, the palace? No! But mayhap thou didn't hear me correctly. So this is how they changed the "but thou must." As I said originally, it was, surely you love me too. Erdrick takes the princess in his big, strong arms. Why, Erdrick, tee-hee. Hello. Oh, there we go. So, come with me, Gwaelin. Yeah, one of the running gags of this game is that in lore, this hero, Lotto, is apparently just a looker. Like an absolutely drop-dead gorgeous guy. And yes, she's still in our arms while we're fighting. So... do we use her as a weapon? No, but we're not going to return her to the castle. We could. It's optional. But I've always found it funnier to just carry her around with me. Especially since one of the Dragon Lord's goals is to marry her, so we're going to carry her right to him. I'm dumb. What do you want from me? Yeah, we got the left arm for the ladies and the right arm for the monsters. It's kind of like Geralt's thing, but a little bit different. Thou art in possession of the lyre, thou sayest. Long have we awaited the coming of one such as thee, brave Erdrick. Thy prize lieth in the chest over yonder. And there's the staff. Oops. Long have we... Should our world be left to languish much longer in darkness, the hearts of its people, too, shall surely grow black. Verily, the night must not be suffered to encroach a step further. Go forth, Erdrick. Make haste unto the place where rain and sun may be as one. I already have the sunstone on me. Yes, I do. Yeah, like I said, it just kind of tickles me, Mr. Red. I've always had a dumb sense of humor, I'll admit it. I did dad jokes before I was a dad. I'm arguably not, but you get my point. Now the problem is we absolutely, mandatorily, bare minimum, unless we are tassing or perfectly memory manipulating, require one more level to beat the last boss. So, we'll see how this goes. I like the overworld song. The first 3 seconds of the combat song get a little old, but, you know, I did grind for an hour last night. It's actually funny, I thought about that. I was thinking, you know, I'm going to mention on camera that I grinded for about an hour. And people can be like, oh, that's it? And I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I think pausing the game and leveling for an hour is not what I would call a that's it. You know? I mean, I know context and all that. And it is much less than it would be in the NES version, but still. And we're arguably not done, because like I said, we need at least one more level. We'll see how we do when we get to the actual final area. But the only place we'll really be able to hear the dungeon song in is in the final dungeon, which is also the only dungeon we haven't done at this point. Possible, Mr. Red. It's also possible people are just used to grinding for larger periods of time. You know? I mean, it is kind of the norm for a huge number of games, this one included. I'm hoping it won't be as bad in 2. 2 on the NES was incredibly grindy. Like, so bad that I fully planned to get to the point where we were going to grind, which is, I think, 2 dungeons before the last. And then we were going to pause, and I was like, alright, so let me explain why this is a negative to gameplay, and then I was going to give the negative to gameplay and just cheat in some levels. That's why we're playing this version. Just to bypass that problem. Hey, you! If thou art of the blood of Erdrick, you must surely possess proof. What? I have proof. I have proof. Oh, right. I'm missing one item. Hang on. I'm just gonna look up where it is really quick so I don't have to count. Give me a second. Do I need to in this version? Oh wow, I may actually have to turn in the princess in this version. That sucks. Possibly Nithrius. I am not. So let's get a save here in case we do have to. And then let's carry her with us. Yeah, true enough, Dakota. There are different kinds of guide. Most people think of grind when they hear the word grind. They think of the word leveling, which is why I try to distinguish those two. I mean, you can grind in Mega Man, or you can grind a speedrun, or you can grind laps in a racing game, or whatever, right? Hello, Loopy Cutie. I think it was the PS3 Gran Turismo game that encouraged grinding, because in order to get money in that game, you pretty much had to do, stuff. Anything you do would give you money, but it was really easy to see that some of the specific races were clearly designed to give you more money than the other races. So it got to the point where you just do the same 1 or 2 races over and over and over and over again. I like to think that she's our shield, because canonically she's a bit of a firebrand, as most female characters in Dragon Quest games are. Of course, Loopy. Listen. She's got this. Yeah, it's very common for female characters in Dragon Quest games to be, I don't know what the archetype is. I don't know what it's called. You know. I'll destroy you horribly. Woman shows up. Oh god, please don't hurt me. That kind of thing. There's level 17. And mid-heal, aka heal more. No, damsel is not the word I was thinking of. That tradition carries all the way into Dragon Quest XI with, I forget her name, Jade, I think. So, we'll find out in a moment if we need to turn her in. We need this item. I should actually look up what the current speedrun record is of this game. Speedrun, not TAS. I know the TAS record. The TAS record's insane. Oh yeah, there's also our sister in Dragon Quest XI. I forgot about that. There's also Jessica in 8, while we're on the subject. Okay, so... yeah, we may need to turn her in. That really sucks. I'm all sad about that. Not really, Lupicutie. Why do you ask? I mean, I suppose the way I can answer that is that I don't care if the standards were different then, because I'm reviewing them from the standards of now. I don't care if slavery was acceptable once upon a time. I still consider it to be unacceptable. You know? No, it's a valid question, Loopy, because some people review things with historical context, and some people don't. And I specifically, one of the original reasons for this entire review series that I started years ago was to remove nostalgia, good and bad, from the equation and just review it as it is now. Is this a good game now? You know? Now, I do make allowances for literal capacity, like hardware variances, or things that they just couldn't do back in the day. But that has only come up, like, a couple of times total. Damn, do I have to? I guess I do. That really sucks. Alright, whatever. They got rid of the ability to keep her around. Well, but hang on. Rescuing her is optional, so how do you get the item without that? Hey, Unparalleled. Hello, Buckaroo. We're about to beat the game, but then we'll start 2 at the second block, because I gotta do a review on the, or room on this, excuse me. How do you get the item if you don't rescue her? Hang on. Now I'm curious. Give me just a second. Let me switch over to my computer here. Yeah, 2 will be a little bit longer. No worries, no worries. 3 will probably be substantially longer. We'll probably be playing that for a couple days. Okay, hang on. We might not have to turn her in. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I should have looked this up first. It's okay. I can speed up our trip back a little bit. By Nithrius! If it wasn't for Nithrius, though, I wouldn't be able to make this happen. So thank you very much, Nithrius. As always. For real, though. Thank you, Nithrius. Always appreciate, sir. Thank you. Give me a moment. Oop, oop. And all these are going towards Fell Seal. We must keep the princess! If you're wondering what happens when you turn her in, you have an extremely brief cutscene. But then she's like, here, take the princess's seal. And it's like, okay. And the princess's seal tells you where the item is that I'm looking for. And I just pulled up a map and looked for it. Hopefully it's actually there. If it's not, then whatever. Then I'll just make this trip for the 3rd time. There we go. Fell Seal, Arbiter's Mark. Thank you again, Nithrius, very much. Yeah, I was looking in the wrong spot. That's on me. There's no reason to use that at this point. All these enemies are my level. Who knows? Maybe we'll get close to 18 on our way down here. At this point, every level is extra safety for the final dungeon and the final boss. as per usual for the day, and for the series, the actual final bosses tend to be pretty hard. And in most Dragon Quest games that don't have super optionals, the final bosses are the hardest encounters in the game, so... And even the ones that do have super optionals, the final bosses are usually the second hardest encounters in the game. I'll never forget when I got to the very end of, I think it was 5 specifically, and I was actually surprised when the final boss just started pounding the paste out of me, and I'm like, geez Louise. I mean, I wasn't exactly unequipped and under-leveled, it just... Wham, wham, wham! I may have over-leveled a little bit in Dragon Quest VII, though, and gotten everyone into the hero class. Even with everyone being the hero class, the last boss of 7 was a bit rough. The best Dragon Quest after 11, in my opinion, is either 8 or 5. There it is. 8, 5, and 11 all kind of sit up there on the top for me. 7 has some really good elements, but is probably the most boring Dragon Quest game, including the one I'm playing right now. Gameplay-wise. Because 7, oh my god, 7 has a lot of empty text and a lot of seconds in minutes problem. And a lot. Alright. Save. Hang on, let's go to bed. Oh, she didn't say anything. Oh, well. Onwards. We just carried her to bed. She wasn't actually in bed. She was like hanging off the side, and we're just holding her as we're sleeping. Well, I should. What I love best is you can see our shield in between us and her at that sprite right there. It's not there, but you can see it there. You can see it there, too. Like, I think she's actually sitting on our shield, technically. No, we didn't have sex. Not yet, Gum Gum. We will have sex canonically in the future, because we play our descendants in the second game. Direct sequel. She has become our shield. I told you, we're using her as our shield. She is just funk. And what happens is the enemy is like, alright, I'm ready to attack. And it sees her and she just glares at them. And the enemy's like, on second thought, that actually sounds like a cool mechanic now that I'm thinking about it. You can equip a shield, which will block damage and prevent how much damage you take, or you can equip the princess, which gives you a percentage chance to simply not get hit as the enemy refuses to attack through her. I find that too funny. I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. Moving on, moving on. Hey, I'm the Lord Prince dude. Blood of the hero, descendant of Erdrick. The time is upon us. Now at last, rain and sun shall be conjoined. Make haste, give unto me the Sunstone and the Staff of Rain. The princess could be a good throwing weapon. I mean, they did that in Ocarina. She is a legitimately valuable throwing weapon in that game. Almighty Goddess, hear me on this day. We do lay upon thy sacred altar the offerings of sun and rain. Take thee the rainbow drop and go forth. Am I the only person who wonders what a rainbow drop tastes like? It's either spicy, MLP, Or it's really sweet. I don't know. Or it could be both. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get some experience while we're out here. I've always liked this spicy interpretation, because that just makes a degree of sense, doesn't it? That's true in Ithrios. Okay. So yeah, final dungeon time. We may be here a minute though. If you've been paying attention, every other dungeon in the game has been 1 or 2 floors. This one is 4 or 5, I forget exactly. It's also the only place we'll really get to hear the dungeon music, like I said earlier. Item... Rainbow Drop. It made a rainbow bridge that doesn't look rainbowy for some reason. I just mentally think it's a rainbow. Headcanon. Headcanon. So we don't have the best weapon in the game yet. It's the only piece of best equipment we don't have on right now. We're gonna grab a save here, just in case. We don't really need to. We have the exit spell and the teleport spell. As a fresh reminder, and this never stops amusing me, that's the beginning of the game. Right across there. We could have just swam! Anyways. Final dungeon. Okay. By the way, you can do this without getting Erdrick's armor. I would really not recommend it unless you know what you're doing. This way first, I think. Yggdragon, I forget how they pronounce it, is technically in this game. Yes. Very technically. In ways that haven't fully been explained yet. I don't remember, honestly, Nethrius. I was expecting a rainbow and I didn't see one, so what the hell do I know? Let's go ahead and pop up. Okay. I mean, we'll see as we go through it, Dakota. I actually don't have many memories of this dungeon, if I'm being honest. I remember the enemies here are mean, but of course they are. They're the highest tier, which I believe is 6 in the game. It is there just to mark historical significance, Loopy Cutie. Earlier, people were arguing this should get a codifier, not an innovator, but that's actually not true, because Dragon Quest III will get the codifier that this game innovated. I had fun with this right up until I hit the grind wall. Honestly. I was legitimately enjoying myself, and then I hit the grind wall, and it was just, oh. Well, that sucks. Especially since the rest of the game was designed in a way that I kind of enjoyed. I've been trying to think if this deserves a positive or not, so... The way the rest of the game has been designed, and you probably noticed this, even though I didn't actually talk about it, is there was... Like, you go out, and you fight until you're basically on the verge of death, or, you know, you need to recover, or you need to go back to town. So it's like, okay. Then you come back, and then when you go out the second time, because you are higher level, or because you have bought new gear... Wow! Hang on a second. That was some fun. So when you go out, you can get farther. And then you come back, and then you go out, and you can get farther. And this even applies to dungeons. Like, you can get further into a dungeon each time you go into it. If you're paying attention, for example, when I went into the dungeon that had the flute in it, first thing I did was I wandered around the staircase for a minute, then headed back to town. And then the second time I got to the second floor, and then I headed back to town, and so forth and so on, right? It's like a slowly expanding area of available parts of the game that you can reach and access based on your progression, and because the progression is reasonably smooth up until the grind point, I was with it. If it wasn't for the grind point, I'm not even sure I would have a gameplay negative for this game. So let's do this. Well, if you're too low on health, then you're screwed. You need to know when to turn around, basically. A little over an hour. Whoops. I need to do this. A little over an hour of Wolfenstein. There we go. I should have written down the exact time, but whatever. No, I have not said that. But what I have heard is that if you're paying attention, by the way, 2 of the bosses we've fought so far have shown up as regular mobs in here, which is very, very normal. But I think this game actually started that trend. I could be wrong about that. There might have been a game before this that did that. I think I'm going to burn that. Where is... Oh, whoops. That's why. Hang on. I'm a dummy. There we go. Good morning, Fuzzy Duck. No, Vect Machine, I'm totally not very hyped about playing that game. Why do you ask? This game predates FF1, I believe. Could be wrong. I haven't looked it up. Pretty sure this game predates FF1, at least in Japan. I mean, even a one-dimensional character can be interesting, Gum Gum. It depends on what you do with it. Okay, I was right, I was right. Thank God I got this armor. Yeah, I know, Vector Machine. It's already on the list. Not the queue, the list. Right. Well, let's grab this first. Or not. Whatever. I thought it was there. Oh yeah, there was all kinds of ripping off everywhere. Some of it was even friendly ripping off. Really. I would say FF1 was more inspired by Dungeons & Dragons, though. Whereas this game was clearly inspired by wizardry, just to put it simply. My favorite type of character? A good one. As in a well-done character. So I'm just double-checking something. Because I'm pretty sure that I'm right, and I am. Okay. We're going to save some mana here, since mana is suddenly a rare resource, and HP regenerates every time we take a step. Nobody likes medium rare. It'd be ridiculous. Characters. These are the worst enemies in here, right here. You pretty much have to start every fight with that, which just gives them a free swing. Yes, Loopy Cutie, although it has to be substantially bad. We've established some precedence on that, but we've given out that negative, I believe, 3 times to a launch just being terrible. I don't know where this goes. Gosh darn it. 1 second. Yes, I'm looking at a map. So that goes to there. That's what I thought. I am going the right way. Yay, memory! I probably should get a save it. Princess is thinking, good God, this guy is insane! And he's pulling it off, somehow! And now right now she's planning the wedding, let's just be honest. You get a guy like this, you should probably try to hold on to him. The hero's thinking, man, my arm's getting sore. I don't remember Loopy Cutie. I mean, I know we gave it to Anthem, but I don't remember any others. Anthem was the one that established that precedence. Just his left arm, though, Baron. Well, no, I guess his right arm would be pretty strong, too, because, he's still got to fight. One-handed. I don't remember if Cyberpunk got one. I really don't remember which other one's got one. I think there's 3 total, but I don't remember which one's got them. Did we give one to Spellforce? That might be the 3rd one I'm thinking of. Banana. He's thinking about mushroom. Sorry. Stop wasting my mana. Good morning, Junior Shire. On the plus side, we're well on our way to getting level 18 in here, which is good, because we're gonna need it. Now we're up here. Yep. What do we got here? Gold! Well, that's useless. An herb. I'll take that. A little close, but I gambled on that one. And won. VTMB1 will absolutely get a negative right out of the gate, for the fact that the game is literally unplayable without fan patches. Literally. Like, that's... I think technically VTMB1 was the actual codifier for the idea of giving a game a negative right out the gate for, stuff that's not technically a problem of the game. Because when someone added that to the list, I was like, I wonder if I could get that working, and I, looked into it and did the feasibility tests, and, yeah. Okay. Where does that lead? Oh, that's how you get to the boss. Well, you don't want to go to the boss just yet. We're gonna grab a save while we're in here. Ironically, at this point, dying wouldn't really cost us much other than time. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 1. Green bright. Steak. I love steak on pizza, especially rib meat. Oh, rib pizza is amazing. I don't understand the question, Gum. I mean, technically, yes, but from the way you're phrasing it, it sounds like the answer is actually no. Where does that go? 1 second. Where does that go? Whatever. Oh, yay, the search feature is actually working. I mean, I guess I knew that because Mr. Red already tested it, but yay. And then this should be over here. Yep. And then this should be up here. Erdrick's Sword. Which is what I've actually been after this whole time. Oh, it doesn't tell me, does it? Oh. It's better. Trust me. It is a superior sword to what I have on. We now have the best gear in the game on, currently. Doesn't get any better. We could gain another... 13 levels total? Because the level cap is 30 dead. You like Vulcans from Enterprise, Nemesis? Okay, you gotta explain that one. That makes no sense. Yeah, we might be at another grind wall, by the way. There's 18, which I told you we'd get. We're going to try for it, but we will probably not hit 19 by the time we reach him. We're going to try for it. You like Vulcans because their uniforms are nice. I don't know what to say to that. That figures, Loopy. Earned and deserved. God, dragons are like the weakest thing in here because of the armor we have on. Which I always find funny. Now, those knights, ugh, those things are the worst. Good afternoon, Crazy Norse. Oh yeah, no, a deliberate cleanup job, Junior Shire. As I talk about when we get to the Season 4 ruminations. Okay. Where the hell am I? Yeah, I'm just looping. Just straight up. That might be why that's literally not on the map. Alright, whatever. Looping, not loopy. I have not played Fallout 76. It is in the list to be reviewed someday. And I think I own it. on the Bethesda launcher. Don't do it, Fuzzy Duck. Play 3 instead. It's a better game. God, that mana total is not looking good. I mean, 2 has a story. 2 was... We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. I don't want to get into it early. Have I played Mortal Kombat 11? Nope. It is on the list, though. I feel like I'm repeating myself at this point. Alright, so this should lead me to... Yep. So, there's the final boss. You can see him in the upper right there. He looks pretty dorky. Always has. Most Dragon Quest villains look pretty dorky. Let's just be honest with ourselves. Okay, so there are a couple items in here. So we're going to use this to try and hang for a bit. Well, we're playing on this. Speaking of which, take a drink. I mean, it's the style, Krazenor, so I doubt it's unintentional. Let's just dump this. We're probably going to have to level. That is... The question is that a separate negative? So there's another, Oh yeah, it's a waistband, get it? Puns. Just get rid of that. One of the things you get from turning in the princess is the ability to see how much experience you need to level on the fly without having to go all the way back to the castle. Well, that was the final treasure of the game. Yeah, we're gonna have to level. There's no way. We're just taking too much damage. Well... How do I want to deal with this? Let's at least make an attempt at it. Then die. Defense, HP, and offense would be the big things. All of which we gain from leveling. Delicious brain zaps. Hello, Lake Demon. Or Daemon, I suppose. This is like the easiest mob in the whole dungeon, which is funny. We have a magic-resistant armor, and they don't do much else. And they have very low health. So, there's the final boss. Hello, final boss. Okay, hang on. It's the same. We're probably gonna have one more encounter. Thanks, Lake Demon. Unless you're being sarcastic, in which case, opposite things. Okay, so. Grab a save. Actually, let's do this. Use the herb. I don't know who that is, so I'll take it as an insult. How dare you? Yeah, with this little mana, there's no way. There is no way. This is not happening. So thou art come before me at last, Erdrick, and bearing tribute unto my glory in the form of a fair princess, no less. I am honored indeed. I am the Dragon Lord, Master of Masters, King of Kings. Long have I awaited this moment. Come, take thy rightful place at my side. Do so, and I will grant unto thee dominion over half this world. What sayest thou? Wilt thou rule beside me? So, Dragon Quest Builders 1 is a Gaiden story, an Elseworlds, if you will, if you say yes right here. And I'm not going to say yes, because that's stupid. I don't feel like going all the way through this dungeon again. But that's what happened. So I said I'd talk about this later. In that, I'm not going to spoil Dragon Quest Builders 1, but that world that you play through is the world that becomes of the hero inexplicably saying yes to him. It's quite clever what they do with it, too. But no. All that happens is he kills you, and then you go back to town. That's all. I'm just going to spoil it. In the original NES version, if you say yes, the game hardlocks. Wasted a turn. And mana. I don't know, to be completely honest with you, Crazy Horse. Oh god, we're out of mana. Yeah, that's super death. We're not even through Form to 1 yet. So, for some reason, there's this really long-standing rumor. And we're dead. Yep, okay. So there's no way in hell. We are just way too not ready for that. There's a long-standing rumor that he summons his pet, and that's what you fight, instead of him. But in every version of the game, that rumor is false, even including the original Japanese. I have no idea where that rumor got started, and honestly don't care. It's one of those, what do you call them? There's a trope for that, a TV trope for that. For a persistent rumor that is proven wrong, but just persists for some reason. So, how's it going? Okay, real talk. Is this a separate negative, yes or no? No, Mandela effect is a little bit different. That's when everyone remembers something wrong. I can look it up. Not like I got anything else going on. Okay. The font? It doesn't look good. In fact, it looks pretty crap. Whoops. Urban Legend Zelda. Urban Legend of Zelda, that's what it's called. It's a popular game that has a rumor that turns into an urban legend, and seems plausible but is proven false. There you go, that's it. Why is it called that? Well, let's keep reading here. I mean, the reason it's called an Urban Legend of Zelda actually makes... I don't even know why I'm looking this up. You've heard of an urban legend, right? So they call it Urban Legend of Zelda. I mean, that explains itself, doesn't it? Oh, there's a bunch, Loopy Cutie. I don't know any off the top of my head, but there were a bunch. I don't like mobile fonts in general. They usually like to do these kind of fonts because they're near universal. They're on virtually every operating system and phone and everything. That is, to my knowledge, the reason why they use these dumb, terrible fonts when it comes to these kind of ports. It's the same reason that you know, the FF ports on the phone have the RPG Maker font, you know, that kind of a thing. I don't know. I don't care for it. Oh, we're actually level 19. When do we level? Let's grab a one of two mid-heals here. Yeah, fair to Koida. Tell I'm paying attention. The best part is we're going to have to go through all this again. Because I am going to run out of mana, and there's no way to to restore mana without going back to town. And I will need a full tank of mana to get through this. Why is the Dragon Lord called the Dragon Lord? Once upon a time, he stumbled upon a cavernous den which had a dragon in it. He was expecting the dragon to eat and kill him, but for whatever reason the dragon decided to bow and serve him instead. And thus he became aware of his capacity to control dragons. Henceforth, he took the name Dragon Lord. This is just terrible. Hey, we learned Sizzle, the worst spell in the game, since our physical attacks literally do more damage than it, and it wastes mana that could be otherwise used on mid-heal. You know what, I'm gonna take that. All we're losing is gold, and I don't need gold anymore. Wait. Where's the princess? Where's the princess? Alright. That's unacceptable. We'll lose a few levels here. Or a little bit of levels here. Yeah. We're not losing the princess. Well, no, what I was going to do is hit 20. That was actually my goal. And then I was going to port back and hope I hit 21 on the route back. And then we'll try again at 21. Yeah, that's actually a good point, Crazy Horse. One moment. Well, that would be fun then, Loopy, wouldn't it? For certain definitions of the word. Come on. There we go. God, stop giving me the knights. I actually used to have a playlist called Grind. I got rid of it, but... Did we level? No, we didn't level. Okay. Let's see. Let's go with... Let's do Last Dungeon, which is right here. Good morning, Shadow Machine. There we go. Just scooch this over here. Back to the game. Yes, it is, Dakota. I'm gonna grab a save as soon as we hit 19. Gold I'm getting that I don't need. I don't even have any use for it. That's the best part. There's nothing I can buy at this point. Anyways, it's going to be a little luck-based Von Falkenstein, because every step I take, I gain back 1 health. I love the idea, by the way, that Dragon Lord's just watching me. Like, what is he doing? Is he just... Not that I'm aware of, Shigor. Why is he just going up and down the corridor over and over? Are you... Hello? Are you... I can't... Look, I've been sitting here for months. I would know, Mike Romano. Anyways, this is from Crypta the Necrodancer. Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. He just hears tuk 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 as I'm walking back and forth. Okay, so save. Now that we're 19. That's the final boss, Fuzzy Duck. But we're gonna be another probably about an hour or so. That's just an estimate. There's no better exp in the game than where we are right now. This is as fast as it gets. Admittedly, it's a little hard to hang here, but, you know, we're managing so far. It is a little luck-based, like I said. Which enemies we encounter, and how many steps we get before an encounter determine how well we'll be able to do this. So far, we've been pretty lucky. Are you just trying to drive me mad with your footsteps? It's not working. What song is this? I feel like this is in the wrong playlist, but whatever. It's a pretty basic game, Juniper Rowan. I am probably going to give another negative for this, I think. Which means I have to decide what I think of the final dungeon itself. It's not terrible. Ah, crap. That's bad. We might have to bail soon. We literally have enough mana to pull an evac zoom, although we have a wing on us. I was really hoping for 20. Let's try and push it. Let's try and push it. But we no longer have any healing spells. We're trapped. We're tapped. We want to lose the princess. I don't know, Nemesis. At least twice. Ooh, that was quick. I know that's not saying much, but I beat it once back in 2006 or so. I mentioned that earlier. And I beat it, you know, back in the day on the NES with this exact cartridge. Probably still has my save on it. Assuming the battery still works, which it probably doesn't. In which case the save is not there. Sometimes I feel like just plonking in my NES games and seeing how many of the batteries still work, you know. I got the NES right there. Hooking it up is a little bit difficult, but, you know, what can you do? It's very appropriate music. I've got an adapter, but it would still be a pain to hook up. Console rot? What is console rot? Like, I could guess based on context clues, but why don't you just, you know, tell me what console rot is, and we can answer via that way. Like, I mean, I've taken that thing open and, you know, cleaned it out a couple of times, but it's also currently got a dust cover on it. That's actually not the, you know. I don't know if you can tell. I'm not going to take the whole thing off, but you see it's got this little dust cover on it, which is in the styling of a NES, which is awesome, by the way. I suppose if it rots, whatever. There's not a lot I can do about it. So, no, it would be the answer to your question. I'm not worried about it. Which one was today, Blue of Alex? Or rather, which one did you watch today? Sarah, yeah. Damn good episode. Oh, that sucks, Fuzzy Duck. I know an Earthbound cartridge that the battery died on it, which sucks. Hanging okay so far. I'll keep saving periodically, though. This is from Kingdom Hearts 1, I believe. It does not look a cutie. I mean, I could go back to town and lose the princess to figure out how much experience I need to level, but in the field, the answer is no. I will know I'm level 20 when I hit level 20. Honestly, I might actually push for beyond level 20. Decided yet. Right now, I'm basically on what I would call the yellow line in WoW terms. I am hanging, but just barely. As evidenced, yeah, so we just died. What stuff is at the bookstore, Nemesis? Unless it's just books, in which case, don't mind. Don't mind me then. So for those of you not aware of WoW's coloring, there's gray, green, yellow, orange, red. Gray stuff is so far beneath you that it's a joke. green stuff is beneath you, yellow is at level, orange is higher level than you, red is substantially higher level than you. And I tend to think of difficulty curves and power progression curves in terms of those numbers, because I've studied WoW way too much, and I can tell you about the lines that you travel through depending on how the game is designed. So in a lot of games, you tend to... The goal is you're supposed to always be on the yellow line, as long as you're playing normally. No avoiding encounters, no seeking out encounters. You should be on the yellow line. And whether you are or not depends on how well designed the game is. For example, in WoW Classic, or WoW Vanilla, if you don't seek out encounters but also don't avoid encounters, you'll actually be on the orange and red line, because WoW Vanilla sucks. But in this game, it's kind of the same problem. The mandated grinding pretty much means we're on the orange line for much of the game. And right now we are pretty much on the yellow line. We are at level for the mobs around here to still be challenging. One more level and we might push them down to green, maybe. We'll see. The fact that we can still die says all I think it needs to, though. Grab another save, speaking of which. Speaking of WoW... That sounds like a really strange title. Go. I'm confused. What I'm trying to do is I'm making a new moat. If I pace here, I've seen cartoons before. If I pace here long enough, I will be able to drive a new... Oh, I think I leveled. I did! Yay, there's level 20. Save. I'll be able to drive a wedge in here, and he won't be able to get out! Well, that's a good question, Juniper Owen. And you're absolutely right. RNG can completely change the nature of that. So it kind of depends on sample size. You know, the more sample size you have, the better a chance you will have at judging where you're at on the color line. Oh, God, it's Russ! Russ! Hey, Russ. You're here. I've been trying to get hold of you for like a week and a half. You donated for Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, which is a game I can't get a hold of, and thus is being axed. So I would like you to either tell me if you want a refund on that, which I could just do. It's very, very easy to do. Take me like 30 seconds. Or to redistribute it. Now I'm going to go see your donation, because I got to pull it up over the second monitor here. Come on. Sorry, give me a sec. I'm looking through my microphone to get here. Oh, it says right there. It says in the donation thing. To Stardew Valley. Well, if you are sure you don't want a refund, I will absolutely say thank you again very, very much, Russ. Thank you. Actually, I gotta do a big bow for that. Thank you. Very, very, very much appreciated, as always, Russ. Thank you. And yeah, that's why Fire Emblem Path of Radiance got axed, Juniper Rowan, unfortunately, because it's just, whoa! Way too much money for that. Yikes. I have not, well, okay, I streamed like an hour and a half of me playing with my sister, Crazy Norse, but no, I've never actually streamed Stardew Valley. I think we did an exploration on it back in the day. I'm not actually sure. So that's all going towards Stardew Valley. Like that. That's the big one. That was the one I was really worried about getting a hold of. Because everyone else, no offense, but every other donation that needs to be reallocated is very small. It's all $1 or $2. That was the big one I was worried about getting a hold of. I know, right, Juniper on? Hey, here's a CD that doesn't work. 150 bucks. I mean, someone's got to pay for it. Either that or that one person is an idiot. What amuses me most is the people who will pay so much for the original boxes. If it's not obvious, this is not the original box. This is not a NES box. This is Stone Age Gamer, which I'll go ahead and plug here. And these boxes are awesome, and they come with their own. So you can either print out your own inserts, or they'll do the printing and cutting for you, which I actually rather like. And each of these boxes is like $2, I think. $3 if you get the insert. And frankly, that's worth it to me to have, well, you know, this, right? To have the game up on the shelf like that. And of course, it lets me change the box art around like I did with Mega Man. So I actually, so I've been buying a lot of games to fill up this problem, and I have, oh no, they're over here. I have several that have no boxes, so I'm going to have to seek out a few for these. Like, check this out. This is funny. Here's Xenosaga 2. Just in the CD case. There's also Legend of Legaia over here. I've got, what is this? This is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Just the cartridge. That's true, Cardboard Golem. They might not have just bothered to put the effort in. I just noticed she has a pink bow on her back. They should port a lot of games forward, Greenbright. Just tell them to get on with it. Come on. Yes, I did, Mr. Ed. It's right there. Obviously. So now that we've pushed Ed, you'll notice we're kind of visibly in the green line because battles are going much smoother, and we're ending battles with much higher health. Which means we're probably fine to just hang here until we're at the level I want to be at. Hello, Hazardous. So yeah, negative to gameplay, second grind wall. Because this is a straight-up grind wall. This is a, you do not have the stats for this, go grind. As I mentioned before, the bare minimum level to beat this boss without task timing is 17. The bare minimum level to beat this guy with task timing is 7, by the way, if you're wondering. I've already said that. Well, I just explained this, S.A. Ross, but since we got nothing else going on, so gray means it's substantially under you. Green means it's easy. So gray is pathetic. Green is easy. Yellow is normal. Orange is hard. Red is very hard. And then there's Skull, which we don't even really talk about. In RPG game design, where you're at on that line at any point in time kind of helps to determine how well designed the game is. So, for example, what's supposed to happen is as you're playing through a game, generally speaking, as you're going through the game, you should be on the yellow line. That's the norm. That's where it should be. Periodically, it may spike up when there's a significant encounter or a major boss fight, but even then, it should only spike up to orange, not red. Hence the concepts of things like difficulty cliffs, because difficulty bumps are whatever. But difficulty cliffs means the difficulty has spiked up too much. So, for example, we were kind of riding the yellow line up until that last level. Now we're kind of riding the green line. And at this point, we're just no longer playing the game in order to get on with it. I think, considering I still have to do a video about this, and I kind of like to start Dragon Quest II today, I think we'll set a half-an-hour timer. In 32 minutes, if we have not actually gotten to the point of being where we need to be at, then I'm going to quit the game and get on with it, because this is officially just wasting my time. But yes, Hazardous is quite correct. Now, what type of challenge that takes, that varies depending on the game, but almost every game, RPG or otherwise, tends to have a yellow, that concept, gray, green, yellow, orange, red skull. So Pokemon Black and White was actually really good in my opinion, up until the post-game content. I would say Pokemon Black and White was like yellow leaning towards orange, but I'd probably say like following the orange line, but in a good way. Like, it was properly challenging. I felt sufficiently engaged at pretty much every point, especially towards the latter end of the game, up until the post-game. The post-game was a substantial and notable difficulty cliff, which was just, ugh! Hi, here's a trash mob that is 15 levels above you. So that's a difficulty cliff. Just cut and dry. How long will I break? I will probably do what I always do, Crazy Norse, and start the second block at the second block's time, which is 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever that is in military time. That would be 1,500 hours. So, can I share a story? Pax and I were talking about this just the other day. I can actually point to the exact moment in time that I realized I didn't like grinding in video games. The exact, specific moment. I can even tell you which dungeon I was in when it happened. Okay, we're gonna get a save, because that was some bad dice rolls there. So, I was playing Asheron's Call. This was after Aphis LaSalle had already opened, for those of you who are aware of the fact that Aphis LaSalle exists, or what it is. 1 health left. We might have to withdraw after this one. We're getting some bad dice rolls. Holy crap. Still getting the final dungeon music going on here. That's a little loud. Oh, it's because it's the Lufia remake, that's why. Turn that down a little bit. So, on Aphis LaSalle, for those of you not aware of Asheron's Call, this is one of my variances of Lufia 2's remake, I say Ross. In Aphis LaSalle, which is called Tusker Island, there was a specific series of dungeons. I'm trying to think how to explain this. So, Tusker is an enemy type, right? It's a species, okay? So, on Tusker Isle, there was a dungeon for, like, Tusker 1, and then there was a dungeon for Tusker 2, and a dungeon for Tusker 3, and so forth and so on, right? You get the idea? So each tier of Tusker... Hey, I think we just leveled. We did! Sweet! So each tier of Tusker had its own dungeon, and that was designed to help speed up the leveling process. What you were supposed to do is you go to, like, the lowest level dungeon, and you hang there until you can handle the next one, and... Yeah. And then you hang there until you hit the next one, and then you hit the next one, and so forth and so on. You get the idea. I was specifically in the Tusker Guards dungeon. And I was sitting... This was back when I was living with Eric and Charlie and Jeremy. And I was sitting there at my computer, grinding out on my Archer, which was the first Archer I'd ever leveled. And I was like, you know what? I have my little mini TV, and it was this dinky little TV, and I just pulled it out, set it up next to the thing, turned it on, and we had cable, because of course we did, because Jeremy insisted on it. And so I ended up firing up, I think it was Comedy Central, because it was like the only thing to watch at that point in time. Nope, that's death. I think we officially need to recall. So we're like, okay. Sitting there, watching the thing, playing the game. And what happened is, bit by bit, my mood just got so much better. I don't even know how to properly describe it. It was just like, like this weight I wasn't aware was there was suddenly lifted from my back as I was, you know, watching TV while leveling. And as I'm sitting there watching TV while leveling, it just slowly dawns on me, oh my god, leveling is boring. And it just like slammed me. That knowledge, that understanding, just hit me in the face like a truck. I was so bored leveling that doing something other than leveling while leveling suddenly made it substantially better. And that realization just smashed into me, and I'm like, oh god. And from there, like, all the rest of the thoughts just flowed naturally, because I realized one of the reasons why I tended to underlevel in most RPGs, and one of the reasons why I tended to not run in a circle, like in FF6 or in Earthbound or whatever. Because it was boring, and it wasn't consciously boring. I never really realized that it was boring until I realized how bored I was in the moment. It was also the moment I realized AC wasn't as good of a game as I thought it was. That was a weird feeling. We're getting really bad rolls here. Yep. I think we're gonna go ahead and officially pull it. We got some bad dice rolls in a row, and now we're behind on HP. So, let's use the last of our magic to get out of here. Don't use this while we're at it. I mean, leveling can be fun. There are actually quite a few games I enjoy leveling in, as I've talked about before. That revelation took a little bit extra. Like that took a while to realize that there are certain games that I just enjoy leveling in after that point. But realizing that grind was boring, and the beginnings of defining grind in my mind all boil back to that sequence. And that was like 2004. Yeah, that was 2004 when that happened. Well, 17 was the minimum, Loopy. 24 would be safe. 22 is probably what I should aim for. Let's not waste any mana. And let's just start heading out here. We'll even hit the inn when we get to the nearest town. Actually, since I'm going to hit the inn, that's a good point. Let's just do this. Let's just speed it up a little bit. Oh my god, casual. Now, I don't know if any of being an adult has anything to do with that, because in 2004, you know, I was already a manager at Arby's. And time, you know how it is, time just kind of, you have less of it the older you get. Well, to a certain point. Caps off. So that might have been related, but I don't think it was, because I will never forget how that felt. To be like, wow, this is really boring. Like, it was such a revelation. I don't know how to describe it. I was really bored. Well, Korgoth, we may never know why they chose to go this route. Some say they saw madness at the depths. Others say it was just a lazy decision. We may never know. A game that's fun to level in right off the top of my head. So I'm not going to go with the two immediate examples that came to mind. Let me think of one that isn't an obvious example. Skull Castle. Where's my sunglasses? Honestly, WoW now is pretty fun to level in. You know, with all the changes that have gone in. Pretty much eclectic. FF6 and FF7, Mr. Red. This is a bit of a remix of Mega Man 2, yes. Okay. Now we're gonna go back through this place. Very appropriate music for this dungeon. And we're gonna try very hard not to cast any spells, because I kind of want a full tank of mana for the final boss. Oh, if you want, I could get rid of it, Korgoth. I mean, that's okay. A favorite Bethesda meme? Actually, I do. It's when they wake up on the cart at the beginning of Skyrim. No, I don't, Zach Taft. As we will discuss, the very next game we're playing was not complete at release. Yes, I did. Oh, I didn't add it to the HUD, I'm sorry. I think I'm going to go ahead and codify this, though. So, there's those pluses. There's Mega Man, which has got Mega Man all over the place. And then we've got... I think I'm debating code. Well, see, it's not codified yet, so no. It's a good thing to point out, because I hadn't added it yet. Alright, where's the map? Because I don't want to waste any time in here. So we are now... Where are we at? Here. Oh god, do I have magic keys? Right. I have magic keys. Thank god. Because otherwise we're going to have to go all the way back again. Because I forgot to buy magic keys. If we end up going back again, remind me to buy magic keys. So, get your guesses in now. Do you think we will hit level 22 by the time we get back to the last boss? We might not. Oh, Woody Lincoln has just. Hang on. I have to actually switch to the computer screen to click links. So this better be worth it. Whatever this is. Oh, I've seen that. See, that's the kind of meme I like. Appropriate. I've talked about this before when it comes to referential humor. It has to be appropriate. You have to think about it rather than just repeating it, you know? Application matters. Shocking. Okay, so now we're here. You'll see, the way it works, Nemesis, is I'm actually taking all your DNA, and I'm going to use it to create the perfect human being. It'll actually look like a black hedgehog for some reason, but don't worry about that too much. Oh, geez, that would be interesting. You would have to decide every time you leave the door, do I want to lock the door? And I'm not sure if theft would be rampant or not. Like, you'd think it would be, but at the same time, you know, maybe social norms would adapt to the fact that nobody locks anything. Or very few people do. Exactly, Cashel. It was all part of the plan. I actually am the Patriots. How do you think I could stream 10 hours a day, 6 days a week? Plus Sundays. What if keys worked for all doors or only specific? Oh, right. Well, the keys work for all doors, obviously. Because they do here. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Now you got to say it right, Gungan. I am all the hype. And Patriots. This is the third Mega Man song. Is this on random? Yeah, it's on random. 3 Mega Man songs in a row. That guy in GTA SA is just getting his revenge, I tell you. Are we... Yep, okay. I know where I am now. Look, it's the last dungeon playlist. What do you want from me? Yeah, this is Mega Man 3. This is a remix of a remix. This is a variant of a remix of a Mega Man 3 song. Wily 1 or Wily 2? I forget which, because I get them confused. But it's Mega Man 3, one way or the other. Thank you very, very much, Korgoth. Always appreciate, sir. But now I gotta go see what you donated towards. Give me a second. Whoop. Hang on, I can't read that. Why does it format out like this? That's a good question, Korgoth. I mean, platformers are kind of my bag in general, so platforming games. I mean, I was able to 99% Celeste without cheating, you know what I mean? That being said, if I had to pick a specific game that I am so familiar with I could play it literally while doing other things, that would probably be Super Metroid. I can't help but notice you didn't put that donation towards something, Korgoth. So, if I could get the Donut Brigade ready, please. I don't think we're going to make it. I think we might push for 22, just to be safe. But yeah, I don't think we're going to make 22 by the time we get to right here. Which we didn't. So, there you go. We didn't make 22. So Kami is still playing Story of Seasons. You got it, Urquan. I mean, it's already an emote, Loopy. What do you want from me? And Nightbot isn't always subbed. Excuse me. So, for example, if I made a command where Nightbot uses a bunch of donut emotes, then it wouldn't actually do anything half the time, because Nightbot isn't always subbed. Good news is we haven't spent a single mana point on the way down here, so we're in good shape. The bad news is we're not 22 yet. And we've got 13 minutes left to grind before I officially give up. This is Mega Man again! It's Mega Man 4. Cossack 1, I believe. Yep. No, this is Cossack 2, sorry, this is Cossack 2. This is ridiculous. There. Something that isn't Mega Man. Hey, we leveled! Okay. let's turn the in-game music back on. Hope to God this is actually gonna work. This is no guarantee. This boss is horrific, so. So, thou art come before me at last, Erdrick, and bearing tribute unto the glory, to my glory in the form of a fair princess, no less. I am honored indeed. I am the Dragon Lord, master of masters and king of kings. Long have I awaited this moment. Come, take thy rightful place at my side. Do so, and I will grant thee dominion over half the world. Thou wishest not for half the world? Wilt thou not reconsider? 'Tis an offer few would refuse. Thou wilt brook no such covenant? Thou art resolved to face me, no matter the cost? So be it. Come, fool. Know thy insignificance. Hey, Preka. Ironically, that's not a joke, Loopy, since we do canonically end up taking the kingdom in the end. Oh yeah, he gets to heal. Don't worry, he's got a phase 2, which is much worse. Let's not risk that. That could have been bad. Yeah, remember back in the day when simply being a mage was considered a boss fight? Because, you know, mages. Tonight, our players might be fighting a mage in D&D, which should be fun. The Dragon Lord flickers and fades. So, I gotta talk about this, only to reveal his terrifying true form. Here's the thing. This is gonna sound like a joke, and some people don't believe me about this, but this was actually considered to be a plot twist back in the day. In fact, this is arguably one of the original video game plot twists. The fact that the Dragon Lord was actually a dragon the whole time. Make of that what you will. So this is much harder. Yeah, this might be our first one-winged angel in gaming history, too. Let's hold off on that. Okay, I shouldn't have held off on that. We're okay, though. Thankfully, he breathes fire periodically, which, as I've already talked about, is actually one of the things we are strongest against, so that's kind of the breaks. If every time he breathes fire, we get a free turn, basically. Everything else he does kills the hell out of us. I suppose this isn't a one-winged angel, that's fair, so I shouldn't call it that. I suppose it would be more accurate to say this is more like the original, this isn't even my final form kind of a thing. Oh yeah, by the way, notice we actually get a boss song. The only boss song in the game. That's why I turned the music back on. Okay. We actually did it. That is actually the end. We beat the game. Erdrick wrests the sphere of light from the Dragon Lord's death grip. As he holds the sphere aloft, a blinding light radiates from deep within its core. Now, if you weren't paying attention to the specific numbers, I don't blame you, but I almost died twice in that fight. I got really lucky in pulling that out twice. So again, not exactly a stingy boss. And yet not unfair either, because again, there are the breather rounds that he gives us, which is something. So, the great evil has been banished, and the world knows peace once more. Now what's funny is the game's not over. All of the swamps, the poison swamps, have been replaced with flowers. And we actually get to carry the princess home. And we made it with 7 minutes to spare, too. Also, all random encounters have been turned off. I would have probably tried again, depending on how we did. That's the thing, Loopy Cutie. It depends on how well we were doing. And we were doing pretty well. I think I could have managed that, and I did, so... But yeah, now this isn't just to get rid of random encounters on the way back. Gameplay-wise, which, you know, is duh. The whole point here, and I talked about this earlier, is that in lore, remember, monster is like demon, or yokai, or oni, right? It's a classification of a being. And the monsters simply cannot abide being here with the Ball of Light here. So all the monsters literally have fled from the land as a consequence of us restoring the Sphere of Light. So the monsters literally have left in lore. It's not just we have no encounters on the way back. Yeah, exactly, Juniper Rowan. I'm actually going to grab a save here, because why not? Is it true? Didst thou defeat the Dragon Lord? But of course it's true. Doth not the sun burn brighter? Do the birds not sing more sweetly? What else could this mean but that peace hath returned at last? Thanks be unto thee, brave hero. Thou art he who bested the beastliest of all beasts, art thou not? Sounds, that must be mighty indeed. 1,000 thanks unto thee, brave hero. Nay, 1,000,000. Now that the curse upon this land is lifted, we merchants may freely trade with the peoples of all four corners of the world. This is a good time to mention that this is only one section of the world, as Dragon Quest II will show, but we'll get to there later. Later today, actually. Okay, this is funny. If you remember, this is the guy who was like, oh, I missed the princess. If you talk to her with her in your arms, he says, melancholy hath so strong a hold upon my senses that I would swear she stood before me. Peace hath returned to the realm, and in all thanks to thee will be forever in your debt. Tarry not, his majesty. Hie thee to his majesty post haste. All hail Erdrick. Long live Erdrick. The sky is cleared at last. We are forever in thy debt. Peace has returned. There will never be a threat to this lands ever again in Dragon Quest II. Gwaelin, apple of mine eye, flesh of my flesh, thou art returned to us. Quickly, fools, tend to the princess. That does not look like tending to. That looks like kidnapping. Erdrick, thou hast achieved such feats as to rightly belong in legend, and all as the prophecies foretold. Lo, the words of the ancients do ring clear and true down through the ages. The promised hero in whose veins floweth the blood of the mighty Erdrick is none other than thee. If there be a better man to rule this land, I know him not. What sayest thou? Wilt thou take the throne in my stead? Wilt thou watch over this fair realm till thy dying day? But alas, it was not to be. So we speak! We actually talk for some reason. First time. My thanks, Majesty, but were I ever to rule, it must needs be over a realm of my own founding. So be it. It is not for me to persuade thee. Go forth then, Erdrick, with my blessing. Seek out thy land, and may the Almighty watch over thee. Wait, I prithee thee. I was going to say, are you coming? Come on, let's go. Take me with thee, my dearest heart. Pray, forsake me not. Wilt thou take me for thy companion? Yes. Oh, joy, let us away, my love. Tee-hee, simper. 'Twould seem a new journey awaiteth thee, Erdrick. May it be a happy one. Back onto the shield. And that is it. So yeah. This game was actually a lot better than I thought it would be. And at the same time, far more irritating than I thought it would be. Because those grind walls, which makes me worried about Dragon Quest II, to say the least. Nevertheless, even with the original NES version, which is worse than this, you can kind of see one of the reasons why this took off so bad and so hard, like I talked about earlier, and like I will talk about in the rumination. This was a bit of a sea change for Japanese video gaming. No, Pitkiss. I'm afraid I may never play Dragon Quest 1 or 2 or 3 ever again on the Switch. Sorry. And yeah, so with that, we'll go ahead and just kind of etch-a-sketch the board here a little bit. As expected, the overall score here is going to be pretty neutral with this version. That's going to be a net 0 to gameplay and a net +2 to story. There's the date. Yeah, it's very basic, as I said earlier. And I don't mean that as an insult, but it is still a statement of fact. This game is astonishingly basic. Single party member, single enemy encounters, 5 dungeons, 4 bosses, counting the final boss. It is... I don't want to say bare bones. It's the brickwork that later games would build off of, which is why this is the innovator and not the codifier. So many JRPGs, and RPGs in general, have been built off of the bones that this game established. Apparently this came out 2 years ago, 2019. I knew it was somewhat recently. Believe it or not, I don't have anything else to say about Dragon Quest 1. I will say that it actually took longer to go through than I thought it would. Go figure. But yes, next we will be playing Dragon Quest 2. Now, of course I have to do a rumination on this, which means I'm going to go ahead and chop off. I'll be back in, looks like about 4 hours from now. And in 4 hours, we will go ahead and start up Dragon Quest 2 while I go and work on the video. So I do hope you all have enjoyed. I'll see you for the next one.